So, Landman is a show that after one season, I adored. Okay. I like Taylor Sheridan's work, most of it. I don't love all of it, but I was a fan of Yellowstone. I'm a fan of Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner, a really good. I know he's behind Tulsa King. It's okay. Not the biggest fan of that one. I like Lioness. There's a lot of things. Sicario, going into the movies. Love what Taylor Sheridan has done. 1923. Love that series also, even though it became a bit of a snuff film in the second season. Still liked it. Landman and Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton is one of those dudes that it is impossible to describe his charisma. He's got it. I can't. That's what people in Hollywood say, right? If you got it, it's hard to describe. That's Billy Bob Thornton. He's got such an easy charisma about him. You want to watch him. You want to root for him. I like the show a lot after season 1. Season 2 started in the first episode, which was titled Death in a Sunset, was one of the more incoherent premieres of a second season that's highly anticipated that I can ever remember. Season 1, spoilers here moving forward, by the way, ended with this giant climax where Andy Garcia, legendary Hollywood actor Andy Garcia, is introduced to the show as the head of a cartel that saves Billy Bob Thornton's character, Tommy, saves his life. And then promising that those two are going to be connected moving forward on oil deals, on everything else. Great end to a season. Terrific. I'm excited. Hell yeah, Andy Garcia has joined the cast. This is going to be awesome. Episode 1 doesn't have Andy Garcia in it at all. Episode 1 focuses on all these things that I don't care about on the show, whether it be his daughter's visits to TCU or whatever. It was terrible. So I was out on the show then. The show continued. I must say, it got a lot better throughout the season. Now, here is my chief concern about Taylor Sheridan, the show's creator. Most of these giant shows have what's called a writer's room or a writer room. They get in a bunch of people from different backgrounds that have a bunch of different ideas, and you sit around a table and you shoot ideas out. You work on the plot. You work on the structure of each episode. You work on where the characters are in each episode and all of that. And when you have a writer's room, you can get together and decide, okay, here's a plot hole that we need to fix. Here is the structure of this episode that doesn't work. Taylor Sheridan, to his credit, just sits at his laptop and just pounds out episodes left and right. That's what he does all day, of all of his shows. He is the lone writer. There's no writer room. And by God, this show proves that. Because if he had people to bounce things off of, this show would not appear to be written by a cat with ADHD. Because that's what it looks like at times. Taylor Sheridan gets interested in one thing, and he says, I'm going to go focus on this now. Like, I don't know, that Ainsley, who's going to go to a TCU cheerleader camp, is going to somehow come across a character named Pagan that is non-binary, who is at TCU, Texas Christian University, from, wait for it, Minnesota. Hilarious, okay? Not too on the nose at all, and I'm being sarcastic. Goes to TCU and ruins her time. This is a post that I saw. Paramount's Landman is going viral after a pretty blonde politely schooled a non-binary character on they-them pronouns. Ainsley meets her new non-binary roommate at university who explained that she's vegan, uses they-them pronouns, is triggered by the word penetrate because it reminds her of the patriarchy, and demands the room becomes a safe space. This is a plot line that did not happen in episode 3 or 4 of the season. It happened in the penultimate episode, the second to last. Waiting to get that. Most shows have a huge episode with that, and then you have the fallout in the finale. Oh, no. Not Taylor Sheridan. He decided to spend a good bulk of this episode with Ainsley talking to a non-binary college roommate when she's at TCU for her cheerleading camp. I don't know how Pagan got to school that early or was a part of the cheerleading camp, but either way, first off, Ainsley made some really good points to Pagan about the use of they, them. I got no problem with that, but spending time on that in the second to last episode is just so weird. Now, someone's going to come back and say, well, now the show's going to get canceled, and Michelle Randolph, the actress that plays Ainsley, is going to get canceled because of what she was doing in that episode to poor Pagan or whatever. I think that Taylor Sheridan's mischaracterized in this sense. He certainly is right-leaning the way he thinks. He has a good time making fun of The View on this show, which his points are valid and very funny. But also, he has another plot line in this episode, another spoiler, where his Mexican female cast member is getting assaulted by an older white man asking to see her immigration papers outside of a bar. So you can see he kind of balances it out with different plot lines and stories. It's not all one thing. So I think it's a little bit unfair when people characterize Taylor Sheridan in that way. But here's the deal about this show. If you like chaos, you're going to like it. If you want any point of structure or plot lines paying off, I can't tell you that this show is for you. The ratings of the season also, if you go through and look at it, sort of bear this out. One of the lowest rated episodes was the last one that I'm describing. Episode 7 got a 6.6. Look at the drop off from season 1, episode 1 to season 2, episode 1. I love Billy Bob Thornton. I love Sam Elliott, who's on the cast now. Another hilarious plot line is that Billy Bob Thornton went to a strip club in the morning and saw a stripper counting her cash and decided to ask the stripper to be his father's physical therapist for straight cash. Hilarious. And she agreed. And now her job is to basically cradle this 81-year-old man in a pool every day for hours while he floats in the pool. Incredible sight. Great plot line. But these are the kinds of things that a Taylor Sheridan show sometimes will bring. And we're seeing some of the best, which I would say there's a scene this season where the entire cast, the family, is around a lunch table talking about grief and their mother. It's awesome. Well acted, well written, everything. And then the worst, Pagan, the stripper in the pool, which may be the best to some of you, but that plot line, completely unnecessary. They've got one episode to pay it off for Landman. Season finale, Sunday night. I promise I will check back with you. But so far, I would give season 1 of Landman an 8 out of 10. I'd give season 2 of Landman a 4 out of 10 with a chance to pay it off big on Sunday. So I'll check back with you at that time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to OutKick Hot Mic.
Daily content and more at OutKick Hot Mic on YouTube.